Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Thursday, January 29th. Thursday, January 29th. Good morning, guys. Wake up. We got one more day to do this. For the people that be working on the weekend and stuff, I'm gonna try to find you a table to flip over, okay? I'm gonna put everything on top of the table, and then you just flip it over. Good morning. So what has gone on? Did you guys get any sleep last night? Did you get any rest? I got a decent amount. I gotta stop drinking water. You know how you got water? I gotta have water at my side table when I go to sleep, because then you know how you gotta choke in the middle of the night for absolutely no reason. You be about to die for real. You be looking around like, oh God, I almost didn't make it. But yeah, but I be drinking water. I love drinking water. Y'all drinking water? I be asking y'all this. Y'all drinking water? It's so good. And they say you should drink water, at least a cup of water when you first get up. You should be drinking a cup of water when you first get up, to kind of like flush out whatever's just been sitting there in the morning. That way when you go to the restroom, your next restroom break, you know what I'm saying, you can flush, like doing a second flush. And so that's kind of good in a way. It cleanses the palate, you know what I mean? It does a body good. But I've been drinking a lot of soda lately, and I gotta stop. But it tastes so good. Yesterday I had a pineapple Fanta. Oh, so good. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why me and soda been tight lately. Me and soda got real tight lately. But something I wanted to, I ain't at the highway yet, but I'm gonna get there. But I already told y'all about me being a little bit late to work because I can't be driving in the dark. But it looks like I might, well, you know what? I can't even make an assumption right now because I'm not even at the highway. The highway could easily be clogged up with an accident. Hopefully not. But I've been having I had a headache for the last 2 days, like a migraine for real for the past 2 days. I woke up this morning, I opened my eyes, I said, let me see if I got a headache. I was laying on my back, I was like, let me check. And I didn't have one, but I was like, I'm not gonna go to work. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna work from home today. And then I said, damn it, I didn't bring my damn computer. So here I am on my way to work, and we'll see what happens. If my head starts hurting, then I ain't gonna make it for the rest of the day, because we already know I ain't coming in tomorrow. So, and I'm certainly not coming in next Friday. Next Friday is my birthday. Oh my God, I'm gonna be 48 next Friday. Oh, woo! But yeah, 48 laps around the sun. I'm thanking God in advance, you know. Hopefully, it all goes well, and I get to see it. But let me tell y'all what happened at my appointment. This at no point was it funny, because it really did piss me off. And this is kind of some of the shit I be talking about. So I'm sitting there at the in the waiting room, and I don't even know how I don't know how. Oh, so okay, I'm sitting at the waiting room and I'm looking on my phone. I'm on my phone, and this guy walks past, and he's like an old little black man, and I mean little, like he was like 110 pounds soaking wet with 2 pair of clothes on. Okay. He walked past, he goes, get off that phone, right? So I just was like, okay. And then he was like, yeah, you probably ain't up there, you probably looking at some gossip or something. So I just was like, so then he was like, yeah, you know, men gossip too. Men like to gossip too. I said, oh yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, sometimes they like to gossip more than women. So I was like, He was like, me too. I love to gossip too. He said, but you know, it's differences between us men and women. It is still differences between us. He said, you know, because women, they got a vagina. I said, let me stop you right there. I said, are you saying vagina to me? He said, yeah. I said, no. He was like, no, because men have a penis. I said, listen, sir, don't piss me off in here. I said, don't say penis and vagina to me. I know what the difference between men and women are. I'm about to get mad right now. I was so mad. And one of the other patients waiting was like, look like he's ready to pull his phone out. Like, uh-oh. He was a white guy. He was just like, I said, don't do that. So then I like turned my body around away from him so he could kind of see that it's like, this is what, like, there was no reason for you to say the P and the V to me, sir. You old ass creep. So that he was just sitting there looking stupid. And then he was apologetic for like the rest of like the next 20 minutes. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yeah, you thought you were just going to say whatever you wanted to say. Why are you being an old, nasty man? That's disgusting. You ain't got, what? I couldn't believe he said that. I mean, I guess I could believe it, but it was just like, but I had to stop him right there. Excuse me. Do not say those words to me. I don't know what you think this is. And we was at the VA. So I really don't know what made him think that I wasn't going to say nothing back. Excuse me? I'm sorry, man. You know what? I'm sorry. He kept on saying it. He even waited till I left. He was still sitting there when I left. I guess we were seeing the same doctor. And when I left, he said, I'm sorry again, ma'am. I'm just saying, you looking sorry from the feet up. You know what I'm saying? But that just pissed me off. But speaking of men pissing me off. Morning, honey. What's up, Cup? Speaking of men pissing me off. Okay, so like I said, I don't think I brought this up, but I'm not a big football fan. But what I'm about to bring up will turn into other things that I'm going to talk about. Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Steelers for the last between 17 and 19 years, steps down as the head coach for the Steelers, seemingly in a shocking move. What's the reason? What's the reason? I don't know what reason he gave. All I know is I needed to go down the rabbit hole. Why would he do this? Maybe there's a scandal brewing. Oh, a scandal is brewing. Allegedly. Mike Tomlin's wife at some point had cancer. He cheated on her and had a baby on her. And allegedly paid off the baby mother $2.8 million to keep quiet. I guess the money ran out. Either the money ran out or somebody else knew about it, but that's what might be getting ready to come out. And I'm thinking he's quitting before he gets fired. This is what I'm talking. Reason number 374,627 why I'm single. What is the reason? Help me understand. Help me understand. Here's what I need y'all to try to help me understand. Okay? In all these relationships, it seems like all of them. And the reason why it seems like all of them is because everybody has been cheated on before. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You could decide to say out your mouth that that's not true. You don't know somebody who ain't been cheated on. You don't know one person who has not been cheated on. With that in mind, for everybody who sees this video today, you don't know somebody who has not been cheated on. I've already told y'all that's why monogamy is a construct that we came up with to keep people in their so-called place. It is not in your DNA. It's not natural. It's just something you're taught. And for women, it's something that you're taught to do, or you're a whore. Or you are a whore. So as a woman, if you're going to deconstruct and decenter that, then you just have to accept being called a whore. That's fine. You're not going to make me do anything out of guilt, out of shame. Okay? I want to know, how come in all these relationships, every single time there's any problem in a relationship, the first thing the man wants to do is go find a way to go get some ass? I need to know, how is that the solution to whatever the relationship problem is? Okay? Y'all don't have any money, so he got to go cheat. Right? You see what I'm saying? Somebody's sick. He got to go cheat. I don't get why another person has to enter the situation. How is that the solution to y'all communication problem? How? How is that the solution to your money problem? How? How? Anybody? I'll wait. I won't have to wait long though, because nobody has an answer. There isn't one. There isn't one. It just pisses me the hell off. You cheated to the point where a baby happened. I can only hope this not true, but I won't be shocked if it is. I won't be shocked if it is. Monogamy has all humans going against their nature. Their nature. All in the effort so that they won't be called a whore or a pass around. And of course, this is built for women. But like I said, you won't ever catch me worried about that. And you certainly ain't gonna catch me teaching my daughter no crap like that. Okay? Do what you want out here. Do it safely. Do it without anybody getting hurt. And that's the bottom line. All of the names that somebody want to be called or somebody want to call you, it works for me. It's fine. It works for me. Whatever's going to get you to sleep at night. But I can't be convinced. Monogamy is for people. It is a declaration about discipline. It's nothing more than that. It's you declaring that you will be with this one person and y'all will remain monogamous to each other. That's what you're saying. It is nothing more than a declaration out your mouth of what you're saying. When you get married, now you're writing it on paper. If you're smart, you'll write it in a prenup. If you're smarter, you'll write it in a postnup. Now, if you really smarter than all those people, you wouldn't be getting married at all from the jump. Because marriage is nothing except something that underscores all that BS that we've all been indoctrinated to believe in the first place. If you're not going to get married if you don't have any business, right? If there's no real building you can do, getting married for love is for rookies. It's for people who don't know any better. Love changes, people change. People get sick. I said this all the time. People get sick, things change. And you got to be disciplined enough and willing to go through these changes with people. Me personally right now, I don't know a person in the world that could come into my life right now and me say that I want to spend the next 30 years worried about what they got going on. No. If I got 30 years left on the books, 40 years left on the books, I don't know if I want to take one specific person with me on that ride. And it's not that it's not that I won't have anybody during this time. It's just that it's like, you mean permanently? Like the next 5 I don't know. You know what I mean? And it's not even just about them. It's about the changes I'm going to go through. I don't know. For this conversation right now, I can't say that that's something that I am interested in. You know what I mean? Right now, I would be more interested in relationships and situations for myself that expire when they expire. But these are things people don't want to talk about up front, because then you have to really deal with what your behavior is going to be. Okay? If you talk about your real deal breakers up front, everybody got to be on their P's and Q's. At least with me. Because I don't like for my bluff to be called. I don't like that. I learned a long time ago that it's not okay for my bluff to be called. And I would rather nobody really try to challenge that. Because now I'm going to have to prove a point to myself that the standard that I set, I'm going to have to meet. Because again, none of the decisions I'm making have anything to do with anybody else. Whatever my boundaries are, I will be making sure that I enforce them. Okay? I suggest you all do the same and realize it's okay. You know what I mean? You could cry, slide down the wall, get drunk, cry to your mother, cry to your therapist, throw up, whatever you need to do, and then you need to move on. Because guess what? Closure is an inside job. You don't need anybody to tell you anything. You don't need anybody to tell you the relationship is over. You don't need anybody to tell you don't want me to don't talk to me. No. Your behavior will let me know if I want to keep talking to you. You ain't got to tell me nothing. We are deciding together what's happening. You're doing what you're doing, and then I'm making a choice as well to decide if I want to deal with that. We are making that choice together. That is exactly what we're doing. That's how you exercise. That's how you create and exercise and enforce your boundary. Realizing that a person's behavior is their participation. That is literally what they're doing, and then you get to decide if you want to keep doing it with them or not. And it's just jacked up because even in his situation, allegedly, again, she had cancer and you couldn't find a way to just chill. You just, why is your pants down? It doesn't make any sense. And if that's what you really, really need out of your relationship, and you just gotta make sure you having sex and you're not getting that, why aren't you doing something more about it rather than cheating? Why are you willing to blow your entire family that you've built up for 20 years behind the 7 minutes that you're gonna take? Because we all know 7 to 10 minutes, enough, okay? Missionary, do it from the back, missionary again, and y'all done. Enough, y'all. We've all been there. Please. Please, okay? Please, we all have to remember. We've all been there. Enough. So he's pissing me off. He's really pissing me off. If this is true. But I'm not any more pissed off than I've ever been before. This is not anything new. In my opinion. And my opinion is not a fact, but it's almost one. It's almost one. Like I said, everybody has been cheated on before. What you did about it is your choice. And it will always be your choice. We the sum of all of our choices. Whatever you end up doing is on you. Nobody's making you do anything. But it doesn't mean people aren't provoking you. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you're always going to be ultimately responsible for how you respond to being provoked. That's what this means. That's all I'm saying. You could pretend all you want that somebody made you do something, or the reason you're doing it. The reason you're doing it is because you want to do it. I'm going to work right now on some level because I want to go. But nobody's making me go. Not even my mortgage is making me go. Okay? I'm not even going tomorrow. And I might leave early today. But even then, I can choose to be homeless. I could choose to just decide I don't want this life anymore because I don't want to work or whatever. But yeah, so if he did that, it's just disgusting. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's chosen. And so now he's no different from the football coach from Michigan who cheated and then wanted to kill everybody and then got fired. You're no different from that. It's the same shit. The scenario is just playing out a little bit different. All Mike Tomlin is doing is making sure he don't get fired first. And perhaps he won't threaten to kill anybody. But you get ready to lose your family and you get ready to lose your job. You think you're getting ahead of it, right? If you really wanted to get ahead of it, you wouldn't even be in this situation from the jump. You see, because let me tell y'all something else that keeps pissing me off. I'm tired of everybody humping around. Why you gotta have a baby? What is the reason y'all keep getting pregnant? What's up with that? Why you can't just be humping, having a good old time, and then when it's over, whenever that expires, then that's it? Why do a baby gotta come out of this? What is the reason? I asked myself this. What was the reason? 10 years later, I still haven't came up with an answer. I guess the answer is, damn. It was either have a baby at that time or not. Or never have one. Because Lord knows. He really does. So do a lot of other people, but a couple of other people, but just have a good time. Just have a good time. Enjoy yourself. And as soon as the red flag come up, be done. Be done. We too old. We too old. Okay? Everybody's on medication. Most of these men are on ED pills. And when they not, they making excuses for why they 7 minutes ain't never going to come to pass. So I'm supposed to cook and not get my 7 minutes? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Especially with how good I could cook. You better come up with them 7 to 10 minutes. pissing me off, y'all. It don't take much. And let me tell you, who was on, so Funny Marco was on, what's it called, The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne. So they sitting there talking, and I don't know how cheating came up, but then here goes Charlamagne with the BS. Every time he say it, it's just like, it's annoying and it's not funny. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not funny. He's always like, black men don't cheat. The reason why it's not funny, Charlamagne, is because you cheated. And then you don't want to talk about that. You don't want that to be a part of the joke, right? Because now that you feel like you ain't been cheating and you've, I guess, had an epiphany, you know what I mean, over your life, and you almost lost your whole family behind not being able to keep your pants up for whatever reason. Once again, for whatever reason, you and your wife was having communication problems. Your solution was to just go get some ass. Everything except do what's being asked of you. Everything except doing what's being asked. So he's sitting there saying, black men don't cheat. And Funny Marco was just like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, because I think he cheated. And he was just trying to say, and so he's like, Charlamagne, you cheated. And it's like, he's like, yeah, but that was 20 years ago. There is no that, but that was. And then he said something that really pissed me off. And I can't stand this. Anytime you're talking to men about like cheating or whatever the conversation is, and then they say, I was a boy, but he's not a man. That's a boy that does that. No. You don't get to try to separate yourself, your manhood from your boyhood, just because it's time to take accountability. So Charlamagne tried to say, but he was a boy when he cheated. No, you weren't. You were a grown-ass man that would have declared that you was a grown-ass man if any other situation was coming up at that time. So let's say you was 32, right? And you cheated. At 32 years old, if any other topic would have came up, you would have pointed out how you was a grown-ass man. But only when you cheat and get caught are you a boy. Only when you're not handling your business do you want to now decide that, oh boy, that's not what a man do. This is what a boy does. No. You're a man that does that. Once you become a man, that's it. And you're responsible for everything you do in your manhood. You don't now get to say that you're a boy, and that's what happens. So now you as a child, come on, man, stop. Enough. If you're going to take accountability as the man you are, as the man you are, and as the man you were at the time when whatever was happening was happening. But it still underscores my point. You're having a communication problem that could be solved through therapy, and instead of going to therapy, you find somebody who gonna let you pull your pants down. How does that solve anything? How does that solve anything? Because I'm gonna tell you like this: cheating ain't part of the ups and downs of a relationship. It's not part of the trials and tribulations. And I'm telling you like this: I already asked God about it. And he said I didn't have to be a part of the trials and tribulations. He told me this for this year. He said I don't have to be, even though, I ain't even going to say it. It's not even funny. I ain't going to say it. But he said I did not have to be a part of the trials and tribulations this year. He ain't say it was going to be for the whole year, though. But he said so far, right now, he showed me a little bit of it. At the very top of the year, he showed me a little bit of it. And now he's trying to show me something else. So I'm going to go ahead and listen. But I need men to stop making it seem like you was a boy when it's time to take accountability. No, you was a man when you did that. You was a man. And all of y'all are men for the most part when y'all are doing it. Because right now, I'm not talking to anybody. Nobody that's listening to me or will watch this is a boy. As far as the genders. You see what I'm saying? Any man that watches this is a man. If you do anything, you don't get to now claim yourself as a boy because it was messed up, somebody got hurt, blah, blah, blah. You were still a man when you did that. As a man, you did these things. Don't try to you can't separate the boys from the men when it comes to that. You can't. Boys do boys things when they're 12, right, and 11, and men do men things when they're 32, 25, or whatever year they decide that they're a grown-ass man. That's when you're going to start taking accountability for being one. I don't care when your prefrontal cortex matures. if you out here declaring that you a man, you're going to take responsibility as a man. I refuse to choose to see you as a boy for any reason when for any other reason you will declare yourself a man. No. And I just need y'all to stop it, because it's the gaslighting for me. It's the ultimate in gaslighting. You want me to believe a boy did that? When I got cheated on as a grown woman, you want me to believe that I was dealing with a boy, so now I'm a PDF file. Oh, okay. Because that's what that ultimately would mean, right? I'm a PDF file and I'm dealing with a boy, and that's why he was doing what he was doing. Yeah, okay. Blame anybody else but yourself. Blame anything else but yourself. Right? Okay. Okay. Pissing me off. And another thing that pisses me off, and I want y'all to tell people this too, because I know I be on the internet trolling, and I know some of y'all be seeing me sometimes. And I don't be meaning for y'all to see me. I be just forgetting sometimes that we all could be looking at the same things, and I'll be saying, you know, I might say some shit. And when they troll me, I really don't go back and forth. I say what I want to say, and then I let them drag me to hell. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Because I already said what I said. So that's the real point, that you'll never really see me having a real go back and forth with people. Because I said what I said, and now you're pissed. And that's fine with me. But every time they drag me, right off the gate, they be like, I know you single. Or they be like, you must be a baby mother. And I always be crying and laughing, because it's like, oh my God, how did you know? It's true. It's true. Listen, single motherhood, as far as I'm concerned, what I truly believe, single motherhood will always point back to a man's failure. Where you at? Where you at? Okay. I took responsibility. I took accountability when I took my baby out the hospital, because I ain't have to. The same way you didn't walk out with her is the same way I didn't have to walk out with her. What are we talking about? That's when I took accountability. When I took my baby home with me. Now, this is what I be wanting the men to know. When I got to troll them real bad, this is what I want them to know. Let me show you how being a single mother always points back to you. First of all, sir, your mother's a single mother. Your mother is a single mother. Okay? That's first and foremost. Let's start there. I may be a single mother. I ain't got a problem with it, and I will say whatever I want to say about single mothers, because I am one. I can relate, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I said that because I can relate. Okay, I'm gonna park right here. Oh, I know that person mad. They left their cup right there. They look like they put their cup down. But so not only am I letting you know that your mother's a single mother, but it's like, sir, I'd like to take this a step further and let you know. Your baby mother is a single mother. Come on, sir. Where you at? You telling me I'm a single mother? Your baby mother's a single mother. Now, what part? Hello? Hello? Okay. Enough, guys. Enough. Your fucking mother, sir. Okay? Now, let's be clear. Most humans are not raised in a two-parent home. Let's be very, very, very clear. Okay? If you don't believe me, you could do exactly what I did, and you could look it up for yourself. You could start at the Pew Research Center. You could start right there, and then start looking up whatever you want to look up. Ain't nothing wrong with a single mother. How do you explain all these successful people? You know, a successful person like myself. How do you explain that? How do you explain a person like Cam Newton, who parents still together? Speaking of which, he done pissed me off the other day too, but I don't even feel like talking about him. I'll talk about him another day, because it ain't even worth talking about. But all I know is he was up there clocking tea, and it's like, I'm going to tell y'all one last thing before I go. This is 8 o'clock, and I said I was supposed to be late, but look at me, right on time, so I still got 10 minutes technically to get inside. Let me tell y'all something real quick. Me and one of my girlfriends was talking about this. Of course, me and all my girlfriends was talking about this at some point with each other. But it's like, ain't nothing wrong with being gay. But niggas do be gay. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, and when I say that, what I'm talking about is DL men. A lot of y'all want to be gay and not want to be gay. A lot of y'all RDL is what I'm trying to say. And I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do with your life, because I'm going to do what I want to do. I have nothing to say about it. The reason why, though, you can't live in your truth is because you're too busy trying to match women and you want to know how it is to get fucked. And the problem is that you don't see is you'll never know. You'll never know. Okay? And that's something that y'all really need to grapple with and just realize. You'll never know. Now, Cam Newton, clock that T. Okay? Clock that. Or whichever one it is. They said, oh, this one is 8. When you 8, round of applause 8. And this is clock it. This is what they told me, because they said this one is the sign 8 in sign language. So that makes this 8. And then that makes this clock it. Anyway. But yeah, they want to know how it is to get humped on. And so that's why you out here copying me. That's why you want flowers too. That's why when they ask you, if you was a woman, what would you do? And the first thing they always say is things that they're telling women not to do. I go do such and such. That one dude that said, I'll go get me a BBL. What? If you was a woman for a day, why would you? So you don't want me to have a high body count, but if you was a woman for a day, the first thing you would do is go get a high body count. Y'all, it's the gaslighting for me. Okay? And it always will be. I'm going to go, though. I'm glad y'all picked up the phone today. I'm about to go. I can't say that I'm going to be here all day. Hopefully, a headache don't start. If it don't start, I'm going to try to work my day. If it do start, then we'll see if I see you next week. Because I don't know if I'm going to get put out this week. They're supposed to be doing a pre-vote to see, because the Democrats don't want the funding for ICE to happen. Like I said, they could stop this at any time. Even with the majority of the Republicans being in the House and the Senate. Y'all can stop this. Y'all can stop this. Y'all can take their funding out. Y'all can stop this. But, so we'll see if the Democrats is really about that life, if the Republicans decide that they still want to see this going on. So, you know, like I said, Donald Trump ain't even really in charge like that. He's the face of the authors of Project 2025. So we will see. But, like I said, come November, ladies, black, 92%, talking to y'all, the 92%, we still got to vote. We sitting everything out, but we still must vote come November, period. We need to get that 92% number up. Black man, y'all got to do better, because think about getting an 80 on your test. Unacceptable. Okay? Unacceptable. But, and while I can appreciate the 80%, that number is a little too low for me. But, yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if they decide to shut it down. And that's just it. But y'all have a good day. And I will do the same. Trying not to let anybody piss you off. It's not worth it. It's enough going on in the world. For everybody up north, or wherever you at, north of me, be careful, y'all. Because I'm going to say it again. ICE is outside. And I ain't just talking about on the ground. I'm talking about with guns. Okay? ICE is outside in both ways. It's not funny. It's not funny, but okay. Y'all have a good day. I'll do the same. And I will still try to probably call y'all Monday or something like that. Perhaps. But don't hold me to it. Because y'all know I like to sleep all the way in. Especially if they say I ain't working on Monday. I'm going to be... Okay? It's going to be a little feather like Donald Duck coming up and down. But anyway, all right. So y'all have a good one. And I'll do the same. Peace out.